Game day, Saturday. Florida State has a game they cannot lose. I mean, they can't technically win either because they're playing each other, but Florida State cannot lose this game Saturday. Logan.
No.
They can't. Logan, here's what I need from you. Give me your 3 positions or players that you are looking at the most coming up this Saturday in the spring game.
All right. I've got one. This is an easy one for me. Treyshawn Ward. Last 2 scrimmages, I felt like he's been the most impressive running back. Definitely in the first scrimmage, whenever he was getting most playing time there, I thought he looked fantastic. We've heard so many good things about him during practices the last 2 years and him showing out during the start of Tour of Duty, and it's turned into where we're getting to see it in person. I think he's really going to – I think he's competing for a lot of playing time this year. So there's some rumors going around that he is on scholarship. So nothing was posted there. Doesn't seem like he really wants to have the hoopla of that. So I won't say congratulations to him because I don't think it's like really official anywhere. They might be waiting or something. But anyways, Treyshawn Ward, for me, I'm watching on Saturday. Secondly, I'm going to be watching the defensive line, primarily defensive ends. I want to watch Derek McLendon. I want to watch Quashawn Fuller and even Griffiths too. I'm pretty set. I feel like Jermaine Johnson's fine, but I want to see who's going to be this other guy. I know we haven't seen Keir Thomas play in these scrimmages yet. I want to see how these 3 work because I've been pretty impressed with their product in the last couple of scrimmages. Definitely Quashawn Fuller and Derek McLendon. So I want to see what this pass rush is looking like because let's be honest, it was dog dookie this last season. It was pitiful, it was embarrassing. It's something that it couldn't even be competed with in middle school. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens on Saturday with the defensive ends, and then let's look at maybe the quarterback play. I mean, who else? Quarterback play is fun. It's still the spring, but let's see how Milton looks like with some people in the stands. He's had a kind of a sticky start to the spring. That's understandable. You're learning a new offense. You're also trying to see how you're moving and getting throws down with building chemistry with wide receivers. So far, I think his mobility's looked fine. But I want to see if these connections with some of these wide receivers is looking better because in the second scrimmage, it was way off. Let's see how he looks like with people in the stands. I do think he's like a guy like Jameis who really does better when there's more people watching him and he plays better. So let's see how Milton looks like on Saturday, and let's see how Tate Rodemaker looks. I'm pretty set. I feel like Jordan Travis, there's a few things there, but Tate Rodemaker, I think, is making some strides, and I think he's actually going to make some impressive plays on Saturday. He's kind of like my sleeper pick to have a big day on Saturday. So that's kind of, and I need to say his name right, Rodemaker, not Rodemaker.
Well, you segued into my 3 because my first one is obviously Jordan Travis. I think we've talked about this before. If we're saying who's going to be the starting quarterback against Notre Dame on September 5th, we all think it's going to be Mackenzie Milton. James has talked about hearing that Jordan Travis is getting a lot more love with the coaches and could make it a serious competition. I think this is his chance to solidify whether this is going to be an actual competition or whether Milton has this going. Because that Kenny Dillingham, Mike Norvell are not going to let the defense get within the same zip code as the quarterbacks come Saturday. So we're not going to really see any pressure on it. So we need to see Jordan's arm. We need to see, is it improved? Because, he had a good year last year, but his arm was the question mark. He's got great legs, but can his arm make him a serious quarterback to make this battle? Shalom, happy Shabbat Friday afternoon. Thank you very much. That's number 1. Number 2 for me is the defensive backs, the secondary. It was a putrid area last year, I think, at a lot of times. And it was disappointing because of all the recruits that came in. And then we had what we had. We had Louisville picking us off. We are destroying us. We had Pittsburgh destroying us in the passing game. I feel that's the area that I need to see serious improvement from as far as that's concerned. And my third area is the offensive line. I think that's Logan's favorite area. Logan wishes he was an offensive lineman because he could actually play offensive line better than most of our guys last season. Hell, Drunk Logan could have been better offensive lineman than most of our offensive linemen last season. But that's an area that I need to see. And we're not going to see – I think the thing is we need to keep our expectations in reality. We're not going to see a Florida State team that can compete with Clemson or Miami or Florida come this game. We need to see a Florida State team, though, that gives us a little bit of hope that things will get a little bit better. We need to see Jordan throwing the ball better. We need to see, I'm not trying to be a smartass, we need to see Mackenzie Milton get through an entire practice and not get hurt. We need to at least see a little bit of hope that things are going to be better in 2021 than it was during the 3-6 Mafia season last year.
Hey, just a little heads up there, Jason. He's been through the whole spring so far and has made it through a lot of practices safe and sound.
And has the defense been within 10 yards of him on the
field? Yes, and the scrimmages, yes.
Okay. And then they all
not hit. They're not going to hit him, obviously, but they have been having the pass rush on him.
And that's what I said. That's what I'm saying. You're going to have. He's not going to be seeing the pressure. If you think Notre Dame's going to take it easy on him, come September 5th, Notre Dame's goal is going to be try to knock him on his butt, rip his leg off, and then beat him with his leg. That's our concern.
I'm still. It's still a spring, so there's no reason to make I don't think so, like a prediction right now or whatnot. But I still am in the boat that this is not Milton's job to lose. It's Jordan Travis's job to lose. So I'm not even thinking about it there yet. We'll see. Like I said, I got to see what's going on because the last couple of scrimmages, definitely this last one, it wasn't pretty. Just wasn't pretty at all. That's why I'm saying it's still the spring, but Jordan, both Travis and Roadmaker are levels ahead right now. And we'll see if Milton, like we've heard, he's very smart minded, is very smart quarterback, can adjust and get it together in a short amount of time, and he's a veteran. I think he can do that. But right now, it's Jordan Travis's job to lose, in my opinion, for sure.
So who do you think is QB1 right now? If you're telling me
Jordan Travis, yeah.
So you think right now, if the Notre Dame game was on Saturday,
Jordan
Travis is quarterback?
Oh yeah. Give me I'll put the money up.
That's
Are you surprised, Logan, that you're saying that right now compared to what you thought 2 months ago?
I wouldn't say so. If we get into the fall and I'm still like that optimistic about it, or I'm that confident, I should say, then yeah, I'll be shocked. But since it's spring and Milton's he's just been here 2 months practically, or 3 months, I'm not too shocked. He's still learning the playbook, getting it down, building chemistry with wide receivers and whatnot. So if we get closer to fall, then that's something maybe that I'll be worried about. But right now, I would be probably saying the same. Even if Milton was just lighting it up, I still say it's Jordan Travis's job to lose right now.
Our man DeAndre, BGPO Football Funk, thank you so much for the Super Chat contribution. And our 100th celebration episode right here. May of 2019 was the start. And again, Roger Smith, thank you so much for the Super Chat contribution. I'll be here after the spring game, roughly, 7:30 on Saturday night. We'll see if anybody else wants to join me. But I'll be here to give my little take on Mike Norvell's team.
You'll be watching it?
I'll be watching, of course. That's what I do.
That game's going to be over by 6:15. Let's calm down. The ACC network has lacrosse to show afterwards, so let's be calm down with that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that looks. Maybe I can get on my phone for a little 5 minutes situation.
Oh, that'd be brilliant.
It's supposed to be pretty nasty on Saturday, which there's no intentions on, from what I was told a couple hours ago, there's no intention on changing. They're not going to change the date. There's too many recruits coming. There's over projected 100 recruits to come. You've got 4 quarterbacks, coming in. They're not going to cancel it or postpone it. Kids are already traveling in tomorrow. But I wouldn't be shocked if they move it earlier in the day. That wouldn't shock me whatsoever, because the severe part of the weather's later in the day. It's still going to be raining all throughout the day in the morning, but you can still play football in the rain.
Did you ever take a meteorology course at Florida State?
No, but my dad, he's a pilot, so he's all about meteorology. He's a nerd, all into that hurricane stuff, and he's a hurricane tracker nerd.
Aren't we all?
If you're in Florida, you have to be. If you're in Florida, you have to be.
Logan, I'm not going to lie to you. That might be a hotter take than the one I said about Randy Shannon. For you to sit here and say, and I get where it's coming from, but I do not believe that right now you have Mackenzie Milton transferring in to ride the bench or to be QB2 at this point. I think he's QB1 on name alone. I think he's QB1 building on the reputation. I think there should be an actual battle. I think there should be an actual competition. Give everyone a chance.
Mm-hmm.
But I think right now, if you're saying who's starting the opener, I think it's Milton 1, Travis 2, Tate. I'm not even going to try to correctly pronounce his last name 3.
Yeah, let's see what the chat thinks. Put in the chat. Who do you think is going to be the starter quarterback, Jordan Travis or Mackenzie Milton? I really want to see how Saturday goes because we've been running scrimmages, just little light scrimmages here and there. Let's see how it looks like with a game feel. I feel like that's where Milton can take advantage of. He's he's got great poise and it's not going to be like gratifying where there's 50,000 people in the stands, but still you have a little bit more people watching. He knows that he's got a fan base behind him and supporting him, the whole country supporting him. So let's just see how he plays on Saturday. And I might switch it around, but right now for sure, I feel like this is definitely Jordan Travis's job to lose. And I thought he's looked pretty solid in these last 2 scrimmages. The thing with him, if he can get his throwing down, accuracy, getting his early reads done, it does end up being a pretty scary quarterback. Definitely if he can stay healthy too. He's put on 10 pounds or so. If he can stay healthy throughout the whole season, that is a scary quarterback if he can get just 20%, 15, 20% better at throwing the football.
Is our poll asking who would be the starting quarterback today or who is going to be the starting quarterback in week 1?
I think week 1, right, Jason?
Yeah, because we don't know who would be the starter now.
Well,
that can't be answered.
Who do you think will be the starting quarterback week 1? Do you think it will be Jordan Travis or do you think it will be Mackenzie Milton?
Is that the poll or for me?
No, that's our poll question. Who do you think will be the quarterback week 1?
I see we're 50-50. I see Lewis put in Milton. And then Mr. Wren says Travis. There's a few.
This is enthralling television right now.
This is exhilarating.
We're reading names.
It is, isn't it? Do we think that regardless of what happens on Saturday, that the coaching staff is going to look at it as when we hit the field in August, it's anybody's job?
I feel like nothing will be decided by Saturday. By the time things end, let's say it does kick off at 5. By the time it ends, it's around 6:30. I don't think we're going to have a definitive, it's Mackenzie Milton, it's Jordan Travis. I think you're still going to have the entire summer camp. I think you're going to have the entire fall practice. I don't think we will know who is starting probably until I'd say either the Thursday or Friday before. I think they're going to probably wait until the absolute last moment because of the fact that I think they do want to give Jordan Travis as much of a chance as possible. I just think that Mackenzie Milton, it's going to be a lot like, and we asked the question, or a viewer asked a question a couple of weeks ago about the whole transfer situation. Do I think Everett Golston was light years better than Sean McGuire at quarterback? No, probably not. Was Everett Golston going to start the 2015 season no matter what? Yes, because he was the big name transfer. I think the name alone, I think after what happened last season, I think that is going to be the name alone.
Yeah, I'm seeing. I love whoever put in their vote here. Richard, somebody said whoever wins the job is going to be the starter, and that's a great pick there. They really did a lot of knowledge there. Worked their brain quite a bit.
Genius, Richard. Wow.
Yeah. I don't think after the spring game there's going to be anything of like, all right, so this is our leading guy heading forward, because I think this spring game, the layout that it is, it's not going to be anything too special. This is exactly what these scrimmages have been doing. They're the same exact thing. We're practically just going into Doug with just more people in there. I'm sure there will be music. It's really just to probably get a ton of recruits there too, but it's just the same exact format that Norvell and the staff have been running at these spring scrimmages. They're going to do some special teams here and there in between some sessions. They said they're going to do something at the end of the scrimmage. Maybe they're going to do a lot of goal line. If they start off with goal line, then that's exactly what they were doing with the spring scrimmages, because that's what they have done.
Exactly.
So.
We make a big deal. Media makes a big deal. Fans make a big deal about the spring game because we can watch it on TV. But that doesn't make it any more important to the evaluation by the coaching staff than the other scrimmages.
have to ask Logan a question. I'm sorry, I apologize for interrupting. I have to ask Logan a question. Logan, who the hell said let's get 3 University of Florida grads to be our celebrity coaches for this thing? For those of you who don't know, it's going to be Jeff Cameron from 97.9 ESPN Radio in Tallahassee and Gene Deckerhoff, who, let's admit it, Gene is a Florida graduate. And then on the other side of the coaching staff is going to be Andy Staples and Adrian Adelson, who are both Florida grads. Logan, defend your school.
I don't even know what they're doing. Is this like some kind of analyst role they're doing live on a live stream or something? Is that what that is?
Coaching. They will be coaching. They're these quote-unquote celebrity coaches.
Having writers as guest coaches. I don't know whether they're just gonna be on the sideline, maybe doing. I understand maybe it's all definitely for PR, but it doesn't really make sense to me whatsoever. But yeah, the UF thing is a little interesting to me. If I want to have like, never mind, I'll just start. But I just think it's just. Never mind. It doesn't make any sense to me overall. Like the whole idea of having the guest coaches thing, and then let alone you're having UF grads. But I just didn't understand it, and I just kept on swiping down. It's kind of like my Tinder. I just keep swiping left. I just keep swiping left. I just was like that doesn't interest me.
Yeah, well, that's like a 1% chance of coming across somebody.
That is true.
That's you gotta have high standards, but. Yeah, in terms of the coaches, oh my word, like that should have hit somebody at some point. Like I don't think it's a big deal in a way. What does it matter? But at the same time, the look of it is atrocious. Somebody at some point would have been like adding this up in there. Why this is our spring game. This is pretty much when you put our brand, our university out there, and we should be thinking about things like that. Somebody should.
I don't want to defame either one of them because they're both very good writers, very good at what they do. Andy Staples is a phenomenal writer. Andrea Adelson is a phenomenal writer. But they're Gator grads. And Adelson grew up rooting for Miami. She's from South Florida. Guys, there are writers that went to Florida State. Hell, I would, if I'm not playing at the time, but I'll coach one side. Logan can coach the other side. Let's get this going.
Yeah, get the.
I would love that. I would pay for that. Well, not much, but I would pay something to see that. Yeah.
I'd kick Logan's butt up and down the field so bad. We'd be eating steak and lobster, and you'd be eating the beans. And
I don't know. I think Logan would coach them up to be some alpha dogs. Man, they'd be hitting. They'd let you know that you were in a game.
Imagine that, viewers. Mark is on Logan's side. Imagine that, viewers. Who would have guessed after 100 episodes that Mark would take Logan's side?
I'm just calling it like I see it. I can see Logan coaching up the boys and getting them fired up to hit somebody in the mouth. I can just see it.
Logan's team would be drunk before kickoff.
That is
Logan might
true.
be drunk before kickoff. I don't think he would let the guys do that, though.
Wait, Logan would? Logan would definitely. There's not a question.
He would motivate them by telling them they can have all the alcohol in the world that they want if they win the game. There's your motivation, man. We're going to party big time after the game.
And I have the bag of cash ready to go. So
got to get the W.
It would be better. My motivator would be better. His would be $10 PBRs from Publix, from Club Publix on Ocala. I'd have bags of cash.
Hey, Jason, here's Georgia Bulldog when they haven't won a national championship since I've been alive. But he came in here to ask, does FSU still have a football team?
We do. And us and Georgia will have something in common. We're both going to get our butts kicked by Clemson this year. So come in and tell us how. That's what I want to hear. What's his name? SEC dog.
It's a rack dog.
Make sure to come back after Clemson wipes you up and down the field in Charlotte and tell us. And I want to hear all the excuses.